Okay, let's go ahead and actually start working on this. What I want to be able to do is I want to be able to go into Photoshop, and you're not going to be able to notice it, but take a look at this. If I wind up clicking on this, there's a website that I have here, and I don't want to get into what the website is, so I kind of have it pushed off to the side, but I'll show you a picture of it. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. That's kind of what the website looks like. I have blanked out the locations, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk a little bit about how to be able to set up this background. We wind up getting a question that said, hey, how do you wind up getting this background and using this background in Photoshop? So I said, all right, let's take a look at it. I'm going to go ahead and close this. First thing that I do is I go to the website. So I'll pull up a little bit of the website, and then I'll go into Photoshop. Now the key with this is just to have the website open. I'm going to create a new document, and inside of that I'll use my settings. I have it 955 by 600 right now. I click OK, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make this a little smaller, and then I'm going to zoom out a couple steps. Now from here, what I want to do is I want to be able to hit the letter G to switch to my gradient tool, and notice that I have the default black to go white. Actually, it's a default foreground to background. I'm going to click on that. That's this one that we have here. Default foreground color that you have in the swatch to the background color that you have in the swatch. What I'm going to do is I want to be able to switch that. Rather than switch it in the gradient, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hit the letter I to access my eyedropper. Now notice the eyedropper samples out of any area, but the moment that I wind up walking out of the document, it doesn't work. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to click. Notice that over here, it turns it into white because I'm sampling white. But notice if I what I did is I just clicked it and I held it down. So now if I move over here, it's sampling blue, it's sampling the apple, it's sampling this. And if I move out of the program altogether, notice, keep your eye on the foreground color swatch. See, it's actually sampling the website as well. I'm going to move over to certain parts of the website that you don't see, but take a look. There's some white, there's some yellow that's on the website, some yellow. So it does do a sampling of the website. And the only reason that I wanted to bring this up is because the gradient that is being used on the website is so hard to see sometimes that you might miss it in the tutorial. So what I want to do now is first I want to do the foreground. So I'm going to come all the way up here, and I'm going to select the color that's in the foreground up here. Then I'm going to hit the X to swap, and then I'll go ahead and I'll click and drag and go to the bottom and select the bottom color, and then I'll swap back. Once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and hit the G to select my gradient tool. Now that foreground to background is the same as the foreground to background that's here. All I have to do is just click, hold, and just to keep it straight, I'm going to head and hold down my shift key and drag down. Drag to the very end. Voila. Same background. So now we can go ahead and actually use this as the background pattern to a website. And now, one of the other things that you could do from this is, now that you have this set up, you could go over here and click on the gradient editor. And now that you have this here, you would just go ahead and click on new. And instead of doing that, what I'll do is I'll call this new RC gradient. And then click on new. That gives you that gradient. I'm going to go ahead and right click on the gradient that I messed up and delete. And you know what? I can right click on this as well and rename it if I really want to. So you have a lot of different types of choices when you wind up working with this, and hopefully this winds up just showing you how to be able to take that gradient one step further.